It is now understood that currently Harry Maguire won't be leaving Manchester United as he remains a player of the club. Manchester United will face Tottenham Hotspurs tomorrow in their second game of the English Premier League, but Harry Maguire was left out of the squad. It is understood that Harry Maguire was supposed to join West Ham, but due to financial disagreements, he decides that, you know what, I am not going to leave Manchester United. I'm going to stay and fight for my place. Is this what Ten Hag wants? Is this what the Manchester United fan base wants? Well, let's hear what Premier 7 have to say. So, make we see. Wagwan.
Premier 7.
Welcome to Premier 7. I am your host, Ryan Nelson. Once more with a 8 p.m. live video by way of this amazing platform. It is no longer StreamYard, really. It is my own design. And the topic for today is all about, will Harry Maguire play for Manchester United again? I think he will if he doesn't leave the club, but that is the reason why this is the show to listen to, because Harry Maguire wants to stick for a chance to play at the club, but he's going to be on the bench consistently. But there's going to be a lot of games for Manchester United, whereas he would have to play. It may not be a lot of games, but due to the compilation based on the fixtures and due to the fact that players can be injured at times, then you can expect to see him featured in some of these games. Of course, if you are new to the platform, that is Premier 7, please go ahead and subscribe. If you are already subscriber of the channel, please continue to watch, like, comment, share, and turn on your notification bell for more details. Now I have some news here as it relates to Harry Maguire that was published a few days ago. And the news mentioned that not wanted, Eric Ten Hag left frustrated by Harry Maguire's stay after failed West Ham move. So Harry Maguire decided that he's going to stay at Manchester United, and it is something for which I find ridiculous, but everyone have their fair share of the story. In that case, here's the news. So Manchester United boss Eric Ten Hag is reportedly frustrated by Harry Maguire's decision to stay at Old Trafford rather than pursue a move to West Ham. And that is something for which everyone, except from Manchester United fans, would not want to see him leave the club. So it is understand that United accepted a £30 million bid from West Ham for Maguire after rejecting an initial £20 million proposal. And all that was left was for the player to agree personal terms with the Hammers and give his approval for the transfer to be sealed. But the player is being reluctant to leave because he's on a huge contract. His bread and butter is at Manchester United. And if you have a player sign a contract, why don't you pay him off so that he can leave? Some players will decide and go, but Harry Maguire is different. In the press conference today, Eric Ten Hag mentioned that he's happy with Harry Maguire, but why would he say that? It's a press conference. I don't think he hates Harry Maguire, but he would have loved to see Harry Maguire move on because it is on his own reputation as a manager at Manchester United. He wants the best players. Players like Pavard, they said that he's going to stay at Bayern Munich. He wanted to come to Old Trafford, but the move did not make any real movements. And players like Tobido was also on Ten Hag's list, and it went under the covers because of Harry Maguire, as what some persons would say. Now, what do you think about this? Do you think that Harry Maguire needs to pack his bag and go and leave Manchester United completely? If I was in his shoes, based on my reputation wanting to play and have a career, I would leave Manchester United and go to a club like a West Ham. Because if that is where I'm fit, if that is where the fans want me to go or to come to from a West Ham perspective, then I would do so. I can remember the Jesse Lingard situation, whereas Jesse Lingard he decided to stay at Manchester United to fight for his spot. But West Ham was a big fan of him. He went there, he played really well. They wanted to retain him, but he said no, and his career went under the sheets as well. Nottingham Forest he went to, and he failed. So in that case, I think that players need to be a bit more wiser from a non-financial perspective if they want to have a good career. These players are already rich. So why not move over to a club that wants to use you in their system and make your career better? It is a sure thing that Harry Maguire would be a good player under the management of David Moyes, having seen how he structured his team and to see that Harry Maguire is one of the main player of England. He's the best centre back in England's team, and you can have your own say because this platform is open for persons to share the decision or to share their opinion. But regularly, Southgate uses Maguire to play in the formation in England. It doesn't matter if it is a friendly or a major competition, he always plays. And that was a case of which David Moyes wanted for him to come and represented West Ham, but he decided against it. And now he is stuck at Manchester United. But the transfer window is not closed. 2 more weeks to go, and there can be something that may occur, whereas Manchester United may get that chance to offload Maguire and bring in some key players like an Amrabat, who is still reluctant that he wants to join Manchester United and he don't want to join Liverpool. And there are other players on the list as well. But it is all about Harry Maguire today on the show. So in that case, I mentioned earlier on by way of the people person news feed or news report that Harry Maguire has rejected to leave Manchester United because he wants to receive his payout. And that is something for which we have to understand. But Ten Hag is furious inside out that Maguire isn't the type of player that he wants. And that is true because Maguire cannot play a higher line in terms of football. He was stripped of the captaincy. His confidence was shattered. Even before that, he was niggled by injuries before, and things like those happens, whereas Maguire lose his real touch. But then again, Maguire is a slow player. He's not quick. He gets skimmed by many players before. He made several errors, and I think he's very strong mentally to still be at Manchester United with all of those memes that are in circulation over his head. So what's next about Harry Maguire? Because he was left out of the Manchester United squad to face Tottenham Hotspur, and that game will be kicked off tomorrow at 11:30 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. No hurricane, that could be a chance for Manchester, but you never know. It's Manchester United. So let's see what the news have to say here if the internet allows me to do so, because I have encountered some issues recently, but the show have to go on. So what do you think as well? Do you think that Manchester United should treat Harry Maguire better and put him back into the squad some of these blessed days? But it's you, the fans, to have a say. But for me, I don't think he should. All right, so here's the news for the reason why Maguire was left out of the squad. Well, it's not necessarily the reason, but it shows that he was left out of the squad. So 20 confirmed players in Manchester United squad versus Tottenham. Let me give the details on this. As you can see, there's Anthony, there is Lisandro Martinez, as they, well, Martinez has traveled to London, right? And this is the squad details. So the confirmed squad members includes Onana, if you're seeing here, right? Onana, Henderson, Vitek, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Lindelof, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, McTominay, who I think needs to go as well, Mason Mount, Eric Fernandez, Pelistri, Anthony, Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, and Martial, who is linked to the Saudi Arabia League as well. But if I was Harry Maguire, I personally would have left Manchester United for the betterment of my career because I am already rich. But Harry Maguire doesn't want to just be rich. He wants to sit on the bench and be rich, right? He doesn't want to play in the football, it seems. I mean, in that case, it shows that Harry Maguire is left out of the squad based on the evening news, right? And that shows that Ten Hag doesn't want Maguire in his squad. But does that happen because of the reason for which Harry Maguire came out and said that he wants to be paid off first? In that case, it affected Manchester United fluency or fluidity in terms of sealing some deals. To be left out of a squad in that case shows that it's not disrespect. If Maguire wants to look at it as a disrespect, then that is up to him. Harry Maguire was once, you could say, in the top five in the Premier League when he was at Leicester as a top class centre back. He moved to Manchester United in 2019 for about £80 million, the most expensive centre back. I think he started off quite fine under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for about 3 weeks period. He was niggled by the injuries. He scored 1 or 2 goals, and then thereafter, it was all nonsense. It was all garbage in terms of his performances. And yeah, I just think that Harry Maguire needs to make up his mind now and just move over to a different club. But it is going to be very hard because of the ownership that Manchester United have. And that prevents Eric Ten Hag to even have a better reputation. Finishing third and not being able to get what you want, the same thing from last season to this season, it will affect him even more because all squad are boosting in terms of their transfer window. Look at Chelsea. That is a good example. So I spoke about Harry Maguire rejecting to leave Manchester United because he wants to receive his payout, and he was also left out of the squad to face Spurs tomorrow. In that case as well, I want to make an announcement. Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United, 11:30 a.m. via 90 minutes. I want to show you the details of how you can get to watch this game tomorrow. It won't be on Premier 7 but with a live stream because Spurs is not in the top 7. So the teams have to be in the top 7 to be featured on Premier 7, right? So let me give you the details from 90 minutes, right? In regards to some details about that game tomorrow. So Tottenham versus Manchester United, Premier League TV channel, team news, lineup, and prediction. So in that case, Tottenham host Manchester United in the Premier League on Saturday. The coach will make his debut at home. Spurs drew against Brentford last week, while Manchester United unconvincingly beat Wolves. That was a tough game. So where are Tottenham versus Manchester United playing? In London, England, stadium at Tottenham Hotspur. Tomorrow, that is. Referee will be Craig Pawson. Tottenham versus Manchester United head-to-head record the last 5 games. Spurs 0 win, Man United 4 wins, 1 draw. The last one was Spurs 2, Man United 2 on the 2nd of April 2023. And where to watch a game on TV and live stream? United Kingdom, I'm going to give you some of them. You have Sky Ultra HD, Sky Sports Main Event, Sky Sports Premier League, United States NBC Football TV, Peacock, and Canada Football TV. So that is the details for that portion. And some players have been injured, like Christian Romero, who was a prolific player in the Argentines lineup for the World Cup who won it in 2022. He will not be starting because he suffered an head injury. And Kobe Manu, he was injured as well. So those two players, from a Spurs perspective, from a United's perspective, will not be in the lineups. So for Spurs, as you can see, the lineup is down below. You can look on that. And even Rasmus Højlund is injured as well. And for Man United, you can have a look on the lineup as well. So Spurs will be like a 4-3-3. Man United a 4-2-3-1. All right. So in that case, no, for Man United, I don't think they played a 4-2-3-1 the last time. It was more like a 4-3-3, leaving Casemiro on his own. But they were lucky to get that victory. So, of course, I want to touch up on something else as it relates to what's next for Harry Maguire and Manchester United. Seeing that Harry Maguire was left out of the squad, it's not the first time. It had happened before on several occasions. I think he played less than 10 games in the Premier League last season for Manchester United due to injuries by way of the key players like Martinez, Varane, also, and sometimes Luke Shaw played as a centre back. That would be something for which he should take into consideration and say, it's time for me to go. So, what is next for Harry Maguire? What is next for the English centre back? I want to show you something here as it relates to a formation for which I have built by way of football formation without Harry Maguire being a starter. It is 4-3-3. So in goal, Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, cover the back four, Casemiro, Mount, Fernandez, the midfield three, Anthony, Rashford, and Rasmus Højlund. That is the ideal lineup at Manchester United. You can see some substitutions there. For example, the likes of Kobe Mano. He would have been that player, but he's injured, who could play instead of Mason Mount. Amrabat is there, whereas you're seeing him below Casemiro, but that deal is yet to be confirmed. As in the case of which he will sign his signature for Manchester United, the money would have to be paid first. And I think he's cost about 29 million euros. All right, so in that case now, Harry Maguire is like the backup for Martinez. Harry Maguire can play as a right-sided centre back as well. But in this case, Lindelof will be the right-sided backup to Varane. Maguire is right here. And the thing is with Harry Maguire, we know by now that Eric Ten Hag wants to replace him with like a Tobido or a Pavard. Pavard is said to be remaining at Bayern Munich. So in that case now, when Maguire is playing for Manchester United, the line is deep. It has to stay deep. But Ten Hag wants to play at least up here, right? He wants to play higher line. Onana is a player that is up here as well. So in that case, it helps to push up the line for Manchester United to even have a better chance of counter or to break down teams. Right? In that case, no, they will have a better chance of scoring goals or being able to press their opposition teams. If they lose the ball, let's say Mason Mount lose the ball and someone rush past Casemiro like right here. Varane is quick enough to get back. Wan-Bissaka, one of the best defenders in terms of one-on-one, 1v1 tackles. So that would be like a benefit for Manchester United when you have a higher line with fast players. When Harry Maguire is in the squad, if you can remember the game against Sevilla in the Europa League, De Gea wasn't the main man, but Maguire received the ball somewhere here, and because he was slow and he wasn't thinking critically or thinking fast enough, he lost the ball and El Nasiri scored right here. And things like those happen several times. Pena gets rid of De Gea and wants to replace him with Onana, which was a possibility. And Onana is a player who will play a higher line. Manchester United needs to use a formation like this, having a 4-2-3-1, as was mentioned earlier on with the predicted lineup against Spurs tomorrow. Casemiro needs help. He really needs help, and that is the reason why an Amrabat is required. Because in some games, Man United needs to play two combative midfielders along with good defenders behind them, and Maguire would not be starting. Right? In that case, Maguire should be furious that he needs to leave. Eric Bailly is planning on leaving the club. Fulham is interested. But as I was saying earlier on, Harry Maguire needs to play at a different club because Ten Hag wants to play a higher line. When Maguire is in the squad, this is it. And money is being wasted. Money is being wasted. So what is next for Manchester United? Nothing else than just the same old situation. What is next for Harry Maguire? The transfer window is not closed, but more so is going to stay. Man United will struggle this season if they don't get an Amrabat in. They will struggle if they don't get another striker in because Martial isn't reliable and Haaland is injured already. So that is it in regards to that quick formation chat about what is next for Maguire and Manchester United. So Premier 7 is about to end the show. And I just want to say that in terms of recap, will Harry Maguire play again for Manchester United? Yes, he will, unless he's being sold. Too many games are left to be played, and in that case, players can get injured. Harry Maguire will start some games, but it is not good enough. It was said that he rejected West Ham because he wants to receive his payout, and he looked at West Ham as a lower club based on his standard, for which I don't see that he have a higher standard than West Ham. And of course, he was left out of the squad to face Spurs tomorrow. I made an announcement as well about the game. I just showed the formation about what is next for Harry Maguire and Man United, and I said that it will more so remain the same if he doesn't leave. The Glazers is still in charge, so the nonsense and the antics will always continue. So, a quick thing here. It is always my pleasure as well to represent the public in regards to news on what is taking place in the Premier League. And now it's time for me to go. Continue to watch, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Premier 7 for more news and updates. Turn on your notifications bell to be informed about what else will be taking place. It is now my time to go. You do have yourself a wonderful day. Bye bye, and I will speak to you in a few more days. Take care.